just sitting here thinking, you know, I put up that video of you know, kind of the basic things you need for turkey hunting. And I thought, you know, I obviously have way more than the basics, but I don't have near the amount of stuff that some guys have. But I thought I'd go ahead and just show you. Here's what I keep in my vest when I go turkey hunting, when I head out in the woods, and kind of the things I carry. You know, I'm typically just making your morning trip or maybe your all-day trip, but I'm not usually far from home, so I don't typically have to carry a lot. But I do take, you know, the essentials. But we'll kind of go through that, kind of go through how I organize it, why I carry the things I carry, and then, you know, if I was to maybe change up and go on a week-long trip or something like that to another state, maybe I'll add in what I would take there. But, you know, first and foremost, good camo. Gonna take that. By no means need big leafy suits or ghillie suits or anything like that. Just good camo concealment, head to toe. And then I do absolutely believe in wearing a vest, a turkey vest, just because, just the organizational purposes. You can throw all your calls in a backpack or in a pocket or whatever, but you're going to be moving and looking, and I don't know. I know where everything's at in my vest, and we'll kind of go from here. But I just have this Mossy Oak Obsession vest I got. I couldn't even tell you where I got it, to be honest with you, but it was pretty inexpensive. And I've got another one here too that's, I think, was even cheaper. I think this was one of my first turkey vests, or it was my first turkey vest, and it absolutely got the job done for me. It's got the seat cushion, all that. So we'll go ahead and get started here, and I'm actually gonna pack all this stuff back up and kind of show you what I'm thinking when I do it. Just kind of going through, making sure this thing's empty right now, so I can start with. And oh, can't complain about that. You get in your turkey vest from last year and you find $2. There is nothing wrong with that. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. What else we got in here? You guys can imagine what that's for. Get stuck in the woods early in the morning. Don't find any more money. It's like Daddy's getting a snack today. Okay, now that I think we got this thing emptied out, I'm just blown away by that. That's amazing. It's just like finding a $20 in a coat, except it was only $3. Okay, I'm actually just gonna throw this on here. Do this kind of sitting down. See if I can tuck my cushion up behind me. Okay. So, as any typical good turkey hunter knows, you know, having a box call is absolutely essential. They're easy to run, and I mean, turkeys have been harvested over a box call for hundreds of years, as far as I'm concerned. So, I got a couple different models, and I take both of these box calls just because my vest has a slot for both of them. If I was down to one slot, I would take one, and it would depend on the conditions. This is a Quaker Boy, little big time, and it's waterproof, so it's a pretty high pitched call. It really reaches down into those valleys and stuff. And I guess I got lucky with this vest because it had a slot made almost exactly for it, just a real little box call slot. So that's snapped in there, and then I've got the bigger Quaker Boy, the Grand Old Master from, geez, I've had this call 10, 12 years. But again, same thing. It's got a bigger slot, holds it nice and tight, and keeps your calls quiet. So, got my box calls. I also have a push button call, and this isn't one I normally carry in my vest. This is one I take if I'm taking one of the kids turkey hunting. And as we all know, if you're hunting with some kids and they see you playing with something that's supposed to make the turkeys come in, they want to play with it too. So this is something that gives them the opportunity to make some calls, and you know, it's very, very simple, and it's not that they can't screw it up, but it allows them to start making those sounds and start hearing how they're going to sound like a turkey, and they love it. It's just one of them things. So that's one I pretty much just carry when when I've got kids with me, and I've used it. I've sat in the woods and I've called them in before and things like that. After that, I throw in, I've got my pot calls, and this VeSt I absolutely like because it's got a box for, or a pocket here for pot calls. So, you know, I've got my Hunter Specialties little deuce, and it's just a glass call, but it slips in there just nice. It's got a little pouch inside for them, holds them nice and secure, makes it easy to get them out. And then my Primo's Old Betsy that I've had for, again, 12, 15 years, it sits right in there. And then in this pocket as well, it has slots for my strikers. So maybe. Usually I end up just throwing them in here. There's one. Oh. Huh. Oh, going the wrong way here. It's got the slots to hold my strikers up, so they're not in there banging around and things like that, and then I can zip them up. Also in this pouch, I've got just some really fine grit sandpaper and a Scotch-Brite pad, and that's just to scuff up your calls, but I throw that in there as well. That way, you know, if they get a little wet or I get some hand oil or whatever on them, I can dry them up, clean them up real quick. And then also for my box calls, I've got my chalk. I usually just throw that down in. There we go with that. That one just goes down in this pocket because it doesn't get used all the time. And then as far as calls go, you know, to keep going, I've got all my diaphragm calls, and I've got way more than I need, and I typically don't take them all, but sometimes I do. But the ones I'm going to use the most, I got a little pocket right here, and that's usually where I'm sticking the one I've had in my mouth, or I'm going to keep in my mouth. But also keep my extra ones right in here. It's just another pouch, or right here, I put them up front. But that way I've got them if I want to change my sound, I want to get a little raspy or get a little louder, whatever. There's plenty of pocket space here, but I carry all my mouth calls with me. And then we get into locator calls, and I'll take the Primo's, I forget what they call it, but it's a gobbler, the double gobble. Got that, just in case. Yeah, I've got birds that are being quiet. Sometimes you can gobble and shock them into talking to you, or, you know, middle of the day you got your crow call, early mornings you got your owl call. But I carry all that with me, and, you know, is it necessary to have it all? Probably not, but everything's got its time and place, and it's nice to have it with you when you go. I also keep face paint in my VeSt. Sometimes I get tired of wearing the face masks, and it's hot or whatever. I get sick and tired of wearing these, and I'll just kind of paint up my face. Or, you know, kids, they absolutely love it when they're going hunting and you throw some face paint on them. Makes them feel like they're warriors. Extra sandpaper for my calls. I've got just kind of a miscellaneous pouch here. I've got a whole lot of folded up paper towels. You can use them for about anything. You get a stuffy nose or an emergency that calls for a tree or something like that, I've got it. You know, and as far as my face masks go, I've always got an extra one. I've dropped these things in the timber, had it fall out of a pocket, whatever. Kids drop them, things like that. So I stuff these inside as well. And then, you know, along in this VeSt, I've got slots for shotgun shells and things like that. I think another essential tool to have is just a pair of pruning shears. Snip some branches when you're getting set up, or help make your blind. And I've got a saw. I think it's still in my deer hunting stuff, but same thing. Trim some branches. If you got to get a little shooting lane, if you're kind of on the edge of a field or whatever, just help you clear the way a little bit, so you can maybe put some sticks and stuff in front of you, help conceal you, but also so you can have a better visibility. And then aside from that, you know, if I'm running these foam decoys, I fold these up. There's a pouch in the back of my VeSt. I stick them in there, and I'll usually, if I'm going to take these, I'll take 2 hens and 2 jakes. They fold up nice enough that I can do different spreads, but that's usually at a time when I'm really going to be hiking out there a long ways, and I don't feel like coming back to the truck to get another decoy. So I kind of take off for it to make my different patterns, whatever. If I'm just going somewhere close into a, close to the road or close to the parking lot, whatever, I usually just run with a hen and a jake and set them up accordingly. I do a lot of bow hunting for turkeys. I usually carry an extra release with me. Nobody wants to get to where they're all set up and they're in their ground blinder and their little homemade decoy and realize you don't have your release, because now you don't have one of the tools it takes for you to harvest this bird, and now you're just out there early in the morning listening to turkeys talk. But aside from that, throw my $3 back in there, and that is what I carry in my turkey vest. I usually have a roll of black tape. You cut yourself on something or you grab a thorn, whatever, you can wrap it up, use those paper towels to cover that up. But that's pretty much, I think that's about all I carry in my vest, aside from camera gear and things like that. It's really simple, and like I said, these vests are an important tool, because now I've got everything you saw that was laid out here inside there, and I'll probably stuff some more stuff in there. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, if you can hit the like button, that'd be great. If you're not a subscriber and you like what we've been bringing you, I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe, hit that little bell, get notifications when we put up new videos. We should have some more content through turkey season. I'm going to take the kids hunting, I'm going to hunt, and then we're going to get into musky fishing. I know Eric's out in Colorado. He started fishing this weekend and was pretty excited about it, but I didn't hear anything from him on Saturday. He was up early to go fishing and never heard from him again. So I don't know if he caught anything or not, but anyway, I'll put a link in the description for all this stuff that you saw sitting here, and if you like it, go ahead and click on it. You can check it out. If you're new to turkey hunting, you can look at the gear I'm using and how I kind of set it up and how it's in my vests, and you'll be able to see that it's really not expensive to get in the sport. Other than that, we hope you stick with us, and we'll see you here next week. See you all outdoors.